says we're live, right? Does it say we're live there?
Yes.
All right.
If you really would do it,
It's like their top running back is hurt. James Thomas, yeah.
it would be cool if you got on my phone to your phone.
Yeah, number two's in street clothes. Or he's in shorts.
And
That's big.
we're communicating with the kid down on the field. Yes. Saying,
So we should be expecting a lot of weight Smiths.
I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe just with an arrow.
Well, I was told he was going to play more than just weight at quarterback. That's what Janet told me.
He has headphones on, you see?
The kid down there.
Yes.
So we're not communicating with them.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Who are those headphones by?
Oh, whenever you're ready to go.
Alright, cool, yeah.
Stream's live.
Sounds good. Well, 6:56. Yeah, maybe after the anthem, if they're going to do that here.
Okay.
Hop on after. Do we need to test the audio or are we good? Alright, cool.
If you wanted to sit here, talk with the angles, say, okay, cut, and then tell the kid, hey, we're going to cut
Oh,
you.
yeah. That's right.
Otherwise, not a big deal.
Talk to that kid.
Yeah, you would,
If you're gonna be on the
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to San Jose City College, the site of the WCAL home opener for the Bellarmine Bells in this 2019 varsity football season. The Bells 1-2 taking on 2-1 Archbishop Mitty, coming off a 47-8 win over Oakland. Alongside Bellarmine senior Akshaj Dwibidula, I'm Kevin Anna on the call, and Akshaj, 2 weeks ago, great win for the Bells, taking down Vintage to give them some nice positive momentum heading into WCAL play.
Well, definitely, Kevin. I think when we looked at these Bells, they've been floundering the last few years. You know, offense hasn't been playing great, some bad seasons, but it's a good momentum, and now the real season starts. WCAL, the Bells are unranked, and as of right now, ranked second to last in the WCAL based off non-conference play. This is going to be a huge test against a great Mitty team.
A Mitty team that is ranked 21st by the Mercury News in their Bay Area Preps HQ top 25. It has 5 WCAL teams in that top 25. And Bellarmine will kick off to start this one off. And we should mention, Mitty is down their top running back, James Thomas, who is wearing shorts today. That is a big loss for a Mitty team. This guy averages more than 6 yards per carry.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a huge loss, but the Bell defense has to stay alert. They have to stay disciplined. I think the biggest thing with the Bells, with the defense they run, is making sure they don't let anything break loose.
This is going to be returned by Mello Murphy from the 1, and he runs into his own blocker, and there's a flag down as he gets spilled inside the 15, so this could be even worse for the Monarchs.
Well, I mean, you'll take it. It's a great start for the Bells, even though it's not something they did. It's good pressure up front, running after the kicker, the kickoff. You know, it's the little things like that, the hustle, the effort, that gets penalties like this to happen.
And they are going to, let's see, we have not gotten official, they are going to mark it off, so it is a penalty against Mitty, half the distance to the goal, somewhere in the area of a block in the back, a hold. And the ball will be at the 8-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Monarchs from there. Their quarterback, Shamir Bey, 3-year starter on varsity, the WCAL Sophomore of the Year 2 years ago. He is an athletic dude, Akshaj.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, with the way offenses work in high school and college now, you'll see a lot of, you know, RPOs, a lot of read options here. Get your best athletes in space, and usually that's the quarterback now.
Shamir Bey out of the pocket has his man, hits Ian Collier for a gain of about 8 as he gets tackled on the play. Close to the first down marker, but again, a gain of 8. So their starting running back will be Zach Tabankur instead of number 2, James Thomas.
You know, right off the bat, play action, get the defense off kilter, get an easy target for your wide receiver, get him in rhythm, and then stretch the field.
4 down linemen for the Bells. The handoff to Tabankura makes one guy miss and then runs into a crowd of blue jerseys. Getting up last out of the pile, making a nice play there for the Bells is number 33 for Bellarmine, and that guy is Drew Brock.
I think the biggest thing there from what I saw, Bellarmine did a great job of setting the edge there. He forced Tabankura to come back inside where the linebackers can make a play. That's great team fundamental defense from these Bells to start off.
It's going to be 3rd and 3. Bay on the quick out. Easy catch there for Mitty, and another their first down. That's Connor Gamblin as they will give him, looks like 6 on the play. So Bay has completed his first 2 passes.
You know, easy, quick passes, get your quarterback in rhythm, get him going, make him feel comfortable and confident. Then you can stretch the field and open the playbook.
Mello Murphy is their leading receiver. He hasn't touched it yet, but they're throwing to him right now. Hits him right over the middle. He has just one guy to beat. It's Nick Teresi, who makes a touchdown-saving tackle inside the 25. Eventually gets brought down at the 21-yard line. That's going to go down as a gain of 59 yards.
And you know, the big thing with the Bellarmine defense, they play a lot of cover 1, where they only have one safety around the deep third of the field. Straight gashers like that, the safety's off by a little bit, big chunk plays. Great job by Teresi, though, making sure the Bells aren't down early.
And that was a big concern for Mike Janda. Talking with him earlier this week, got to limit the big plays against this team. It was big plays that did the Bells in last year against the Monarchs at Foothill College, losing 35-14. 10:23 to go, clock running. The handoff to Tabankura. Outside run off right tackle, makes one guy miss and gets tripped up by Izon Henry as he gets inside the 20. Looks like he's going to be marked down at around the 16-yard line for a gain of 5.
We do have a flag on the play. Looks like, I would say holding. Yeah, it's going to be holding. I'm guessing on the wide receiver. That edge looked pretty solid there. So most of the time when it looks too good to be true, it probably was.
So that'll move them back to the 26. They must have called that. The hold must have been at the 16-yard line. Didn't come at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 26. This is a spread team under Sione Taufo. Has Collier in the slot and gets up to the 20. Tackled there by Garrett Arnold and Adam Hayashi after a gain of 6.
And quick adjustment from the Bellarmine coaching staff, running into a cover 2 right there, making sure that middle of the field is well protected. They'll give up some of these short plays. The Bells have been tackling well early on. Bend but don't break.
2nd and 9 from the 20. 2 receivers to each side. Bay's going to hand it off. A little draw for Tabin Kura. Flag is down as he gets tripped up. Another good play by Drew Brock.
Just again, I mean, this is really great fundamental defense by the defensive line. They're holding steady. They force yet another holding penalty. You know, that's not going to go on the stat sheet. But when you're forcing these many holding penalties, even if it's just early, that's a sign that your defensive line was ready to play.
That's a good point. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 19 from the 30. That is a 3rd accepted penalty against Mitty already, and we played 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Well, you know, if you watched the 49ers game last week, whenever an opponent decides to give you opportunities, give you a chance, or play themselves out of the game, all you have to do is just sit back and watch it happen, and the Bells are doing that right now.
Yeah, the Niners gave the Steelers plenty of opportunities to win with their 5 turnovers themselves. Shamir Bey makes one guy miss, and a good tackle there made by Reese Burrill, catching him at the thighs and limiting him to a 3-yard gain. So I'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 16.
And as we saw there, first chance for Mitty to use their athletic quarterback and try to make some plays other than just in the passing game. We'll expect to see this a lot more. Great job by the Bells. Again, I'm saying this a lot, but it has to be true.
Yeah.
They're setting the edge. They're not letting anything get to the outsides. They're allowing their linebackers to clean up.
That's a good point, Akshaj. It's 3rd and 16. They need the 11. 8:25 to go. Shamir Bey looking down the opposite sideline, has his man Connor Gamblin, takes the top off the defense, and Gamblin has a touchdown on the 27-yard toss from Shamir Bey.
From what it looked like over there, one of the corners got beat badly, and Garrett Arnold, number 7, the safety, was playing really close to the line of scrimmage. So he couldn't bail in time. He had to retreat back. It's an easy touchdown pass for any quarterback.
6-0, the swinging gate look. Now they will set up the extra point with Gunnar Weidick, their kicker. Where's number 88? The holder is their backup quarterback, Reese Burton. It's a good snap, a good hold. The kick is up, and that is true as well. So it's 7-0 Mitty with 8:20 to go in the first quarter. Well, Akshaj, you talked about Bellarmine being able to set the edge there defensively as far as run fits and making sure they couldn't get a lot in the run game, but unfortunately, Shamir Bey, 5 for 5 for 105 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, for the Bells, some good things, some bad things. It is the opening drive of WCL play, maybe some jitters. The defensive line played great there. They were disruptive. They made sure nothing got outside them. The secondary had a few major breakdowns. It'll be interesting to see how Coach Janda and Coach Amarias tries to shake that up next time they're on defense.
Akshaj touched on it a little bit earlier. Bellarmine 1 and 2, tied for second to last in the league based on non-conference records. Valley Christian and Sarah 3-0. SI, Mitty, and Reardon 2-1. Sacred Heart Cathedral 0-3. St. Francis is at Valley Christian. Reardon taking on Sarah. And Sacred Heart Cathedral against SI. All of them kicking off at 7 p.m. tonight. Sometimes we have a Saturday afternoon game or two in the WCL slate, and not so opening weekend. All right, so we'll see what the Bellarmine offense has after that perfectly executed drive in the air for the Monarchs. And head coach Sione Taufo in his second season at the helm. He is a quarterbacks coach at the Elite 11. He has some big-time quarterback chops. He's a regional scout as well.
He's been molding his quarterback here 3 years.
Yeah, the first year he came to Mitty, He was the offensive coordinator, and that was Shamir Bay's first year. This is returned by Izon Henry. Nice return out past the 30. Finally gets dropped at the 32. Big return and gives Bellarmine solid field position to start their first drive.
I mean, even last year, in the midst of a terrible season for the Bells, one bright spot was always Izon Henry. As a cornerback, he shined, and as an emergency fill-in for last year's senior Tyson Garcia, he was great as a running back. He's explosive, he's deadly, he's fast. He's everything you want in one of your leading weapons for your offense.
Wade Smith, the starting quarterback, had a nice game against Vintage. Starting running back, Izon Henry. Garrett Arnold, a wing back. Excuse me, that is Michael Shannon, number 9. Here's Izon Henry right off the bat, makes the guy miss. He's into plus territory. He's inside the 30 and pushed out of bounds at around the 28. Finally knocked out a play by Zach Posey, but not before a huge gain right now of about 40 yards. It depends on where they spot it, but how about that?
I mean, usually they talk about the announcer jinx. You say a player is good and he should mess up. It's the opposite here. Izon takes the snap, gets outside, beats the edge, and rushes down the field. He's incredible. He's just a great player to watch.
So they mark it at the 30 exactly. It's a 38-yard gain for Izon Henry. He had 109 rushing yards 2 weeks ago in the win over Vintage. Joaquin Moreno gets the handoff. A jersey change for him. Usually wears 3. He's wearing 14. And it's a good gain on first down to the 25. As the last guy out of the pile there for the Monarchs, number 42, Derek Cho.
And if you've been watching Bellarmine football for basically the entire time Coach Janda's been here, you know the offense they run. The double back, the double wing offense, where everyone's on the line of scrimmage, predicated on just smash-mouth physical football, getting you at the line of scrimmage, gashing you for great runs. Bells are doing that right now. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep it up as the game progresses.
Mike Jano was really happy with the way his offensive line played in that win over Vintage. It's Moreno again, and he has the first down. The tackle made by Adam Fox. They are going to give him the 20. That's what they needed. Another 5-yard gain, and actually it's going to be 3rd and 1, excuse me. He is a yard shy. Looked like I could have sworn they spotted it at the 30, but they had the marker down at the 29.
No, you're right, actually. It's a bit surprising.
Yeah.
Good thing is with this double wing offense, these are the short runs you should easily get. Shouldn't be much of an issue here.
6:46 to go. Don't know why the clock was stopped, but it's Izon Henry forward for a first. And Izon able to get that down to the 15-yard line for a gain of 5.
I think the really beautiful thing about Bellarmine football, especially their offense, is that when they line up, you almost know what they're going to do.
Yep.
They're going to run it down your throat. And most of the time, defenses can't stop it. It's really a testament of wills, of hard work, of really who wants to control the line of scrimmage more. Right now, the Bells have been dominating that on both sides of the ball.
It's Smith out of the gun. He's going to hand it off to Henry and get sent backwards there. Great play by number 57, Isaiah Regala.
Well, here was the broadcaster jinx right on cue. Breaks through, beautiful move right there. Just sheds the center, Ethan Galbraith, right in the gap, the A gap, I believe, and just makes sure Izon can go nowhere.
Marcus Mifsud, Tyler Bowes, Ethan Galbraith, Thomas Blevins, Justin Lewinsky, your starting O-line. The handoff to Henry, it's an outside run. He's inside the 15 and gets dropped by a couple of Monarchs. Leading the charge there, Davis Salam with help from Adam Ruspel.
I think over there, the Bells got away from what they were doing to start this drive. A complete outside zone concept. They're pulling everyone to the edge. Doesn't let your offensive line engage as fast. They aren't going vertical, they're going horizontal. You know, with offensive linemen who are pretty small and pretty light on their feet, it could work, but maybe you should stick to the basic and stick to what got you down here.
3rd and 8 from the 14, coming up on 5 minutes to play. Play action. Wade Smith almost ran into Izon Henry. Makes one guy miss. Makes another and tries to bulldoze a Monarch. He does get down to the 10-yard line. Helping him out of play there was number 42, Derek Cho. But it is going to bring up a 4th down. And we'll see where they spot it. It looks like it's going to be spotted at the 11-yard line. And on comes Andrew Schaefer for a field goal. So this will be an attempt of about 28 or 29 yards. Looks like they're going to make it a 28-yard field goal attempt. Andrew Schaefer has a nice leg. See if Bellarmine can get some points on the board on their opening drive. Lost 35-14 to the Monarchs last year. Bellarmine had 10 guys out there, and the kick is blocked. Flag is out, and Wade Smith is just going to have to sit on it. Again, Bellarmine only had 10 guys out there. They had a guy running out late, Tyler Pearson, number 25, to try to give him 11, and it's from where he was going to be that the kick got blocked.
I mean, this is just bad execution by the Bells. This flag is going to clearly be a false start, illegal formation. Pearson wasn't close to being set when the snap was sent. But, you know, going back to that third down play, you could see the disconnection between the entire offense. I think Wade Smith ran into a player, had to spin around, just threw everything off. Then with this play right now, the Bells had a good start to this drive, but this is a tough way to end anything with two plays like that back to back.
They moved the football well, got it down to the 11. They moved it 57 yards. But now with the block kick, Mitty gets it at their own 34 with 4:05 to go in the first quarter.
And like we were saying earlier, the Bells have quickly adjusted. They're playing a cover 2. No one's going to beat them deep now.
Play action, Shamir Bey throwing to the outside, has his man. It is caught by Gamblin, who had the touchdown and wrestled out of play after a gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, so the Bells playing a soft zone here, keeping the safeties back, throwing only 4 people on the line of scrimmage, which is pretty new for this Janda and Amarius-led defense. They usually like to throw 5 people on there, but just 4 played off, made sure they tackled. Bend but don't break. That's the way the Bells are looking to be on defense right now.
Garrett Arnold had the tackle on that last play. Play action, Shamir Bey looking over the middle of the field, and almost a beautiful catch by Ray Mello Murphy, but couldn't quite haul it in, and a chance for the Bellarmine defense to get off the field on 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and you see right there, that's the center of the field. It's usually where you can exploit a cover 2, gashing it right down there. Garrett Arnold made a great break on the ball to disrupt it at the very end.
Well, the Bells couldn't stop him on 3rd and 16 last drive. See if they can stop him on 3rd and short here.
They're playing very off here, very off for 3rd and 2.
Bay's going to keep it, and he's got the first down. Gets upended at the 46, but not before a gain of 6. Making the stop, Reese Burrill got lower to the ground. Low man wins, but not before they convert on 3rd and short.
I question that defensive play call a little bit. Both their corners, both Izon and Hayashi were both 7 yards off. The linebackers were playing as if it was going to be a pass. They weren't playing aggressive there on defense, and it showed easy quarterback run right up the middle.
Gamblin, Collier, Murphy, Lucas, your receivers. Inside handoff goes to Philip Carending, and he gets a nice gain up the middle, gashing the Bells defense to the tune of 9 yards as he gets into plus territory.
I'm not really one for deciphering how players feel out there, but after a blocked kick like that, the defense has to be demoralized a little. Might be seeing some of that on the field right now. They're just getting gashed out there.
2:25 to go in the first quarter. Mitty 7 on a 27-yard touchdown pass from Shamir Bey to Connor Gamblin. 2:15 to go now, first quarter. Handoff. It's Carending, and he has the first easily. Connor Albanese helping to make the stop there. They're going to mark him down at the 41 for a gain of 4.
4 yards, the old adage goes, if you run for 4 yards, a carry, you'll get to the end zone because you'll always get a first down. The Bells have to tighten up a little bit. They were great at the line of scrimmage to start this game. They can get back to it.
1st and 10 from the 41. It's Carending again, and Carending gets around 4 or 5 yards again. Ben Richards helping to make the stop. He was the guy who initially got upfield there. They're going to mark him down at the 36 for a gain of 5, but there you go. Like you mentioned, Akshaj, they will take that every time.
You know, that play call right there, it's so demoralizing for a defensive player. The gap's wide open, you rush in, you think you're going to get him down for a loss. The run just goes another way.
Tavin Kura gets some nice blocking on the edge. Coming up, Nick Teresi and Reese Burrill stop him, but not before he gets to the 31, and that's going to be very close to another first down. Are they going to give it to him? Looks like it's going to be 3rd and short. No, they give it to him. First down.
I mean, we're seeing death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive right here. 5-yard run, 4-yard run. It's so hard to sit back and watch, but it just breaks the will of a defense.
Yeah, most likely the Bells won't get the ball before the first quarter ends. 43 seconds to go now, and it's going to be another running play. This time it's Bay who keeps it. Marcus Mifsud able to stop him at around the 30. They'll mark it at the 29 for a gain of 2.
Now, Shamir Bay's 6'2", 196. He used every bit of his frame there, falling forward, making sure he could get positive yards against Marcus Mifsud.
Yeah, that should be the end of the first quarter. They do not need to snap it again. It is 7-0. Mitty leading Bellarmine. The Bells had a promising drive, end in a blocked field goal, and Mitty getting on the board with a 27-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and 16. We'll take a quick break, come back with the start of the second quarter on BCP Sports Live. Well, the Bells have the Monarchs have a 2nd and 9 from the 2nd and 8 from the 29. As we start the second quarter, Monarchs 7, Bells nothing. Here on BCP Sports Live, WCAL opener. Handoff to Tavin Kura, and forced out of bounds by Reese Burrill right around the 25, and it'll bring up another 3rd down. They're going to mark him at the 26, so it'll be 3rd and 5.
You know, Reese Burrill had a great first quarter. The entire linebacking unit actually did. They didn't get busted in coverage. Did a good job making sure runs didn't go too far out. Right there, he rushes to the edge and makes sure that doesn't break loose.
3rd down and 5 from the 26. They need the 21. Bay out of the gun as he's been all game. Looking to take off. And he's close to the first down marker. First guy to him was Ben Richards. He is going to be a yard short, 4th and 1. I think this is an automatic go for it here for the Monarchs.
Oh, absolutely. You know, even though your defense did let the Bells get down the field, Shamir Bay is a pretty stocky guy. He's only 196 pounds, but he's built very strong. I wouldn't be surprised to see a simple quarterback sneak here. Use your big offensive lineman, push right through him, especially behind your 265-pound center. Oh, but they're going in the pistol, it looks like.
And It will be Bay keeping it. He's close. I think he does have it. And yeah, it looks like he does have the first down as he falls forward to the 20. Tyreek Madriz Jinx helping to make the stop there, number 6 for the Bells. He does get 2, and the chains do move.
Now this is the evolution of offense. Now 4th and 1, you'd almost assume it'd be a QB sneak. Now it's a QB sneak out of
there's something about the old school football fan in me that just wants to see guys get under center on 4th and short. Bay looking downfield. That's caught by Ray Mello. Murphy over the middle, actually. Reese Burrill able to wind him down at the 15 after a gain of 5. And Ray Mello Murphy is their big-time receiver. He has 15 catches for 278 yards and 4 touchdowns this season coming in.
And the Bells, again, playing this soft coverage in these zones are allowing the Monarchs to, dink and dime their way down the field.
2nd and 5 from the 15. Handoff to Abenkur. Has a hole. He's inside the 10. Nice cut up. Back inside. And he gets to the 8. A gain of 7 for a first down. Actually, a gain of 8. They give him the 7.
That's the implication of playing a soft zone. Your players get reactive instead of proactive. They sit back and they watch plays develop. They aren't getting aggressive. So when you run it up the gut, your linebackers take a split second later. This is the result.
9:25 to go first half. Mitty up 7-0. 1st and goal from the 7. It's Shamir Bay. End zone fade. Has his man wide open. It's Hunter Lucas for the touchdown.
Looked like a pretty natural pick play there. Having Hunter Lewis run across the back of the end zone. You have a wide receiver squatting there. Bell corner gets mixed up, gets bumped off his spot. Easy touchdown pass for Shamir Bay, who has 2 on today now.
And he has not missed. He is 8 for 8 for 124 yards with those 2 touchdown passes.
Well,
that's pretty good.
I think anyone would take that any time. But he's been getting a lot of easy passes around. He's just, it's short, quick passes with a few deep shots mixed in.
Gunnar Weidick splitting the uprights to make it 14-0 Monarchs, 9:16 to go first half. Coming into this game, Shamir Bay had completed a little more than 60% of his passes, 33 of 53 for 538 yards, 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Those numbers going north tonight. All right, Akshaj, you're down 14-0. What are you saying if you're Mike Janda?
Well, I think you have to tell your players to keep doing what they're doing on offense. You had a great drive there. It stalled out a little bit. But I think the biggest issue that most teams have, but the Bells will never have, is getting too worried when you're down in the first half and chucking the ball around. With Coach Janda, he's going to stick to his roots. If you have a good touchdown drive here, establish Bellarmine football, you're back in this game, so there's no need to panic here. Keep it steady.
Good crowd on hand, both sidelines. The students have come out in a major way. Looks like it was wear your favorite NFL player's jersey day at school today, Akshad.
Oh, yeah. So the theme for today's game was wear your favorite jersey. My little brother had a Steph Curry jersey.
Okay.
I see a good number of 49er jerseys here, which is always great to see. Saw a Russell Wilson jersey. I'm not too happy about that.
Yeah, Jack Morse, who is on our broadcast team tonight. He's a senior. Diego Hara, class of 23. Akshaj Dwibidula, the senior. Joining me in the booth, Samarth Girish is our on-field camera. And we have Nick Coker running the board wearing a Josh Allen Buffalo Bills jersey. What jersey would you have worn today?
If I had a jersey, because I usually don't, I would take a Patrick Willis one.
Oh, I like it. Great 49er linebacker. Good return here. It's Adam Hayashi. Up past the 30 again. Another good kick return for the Bells. And they'll be in business just north of the 30. At the 31.
The biggest indication when you watch the Bells offense of how they're feeling about the game is how they line up. If you see them in the double wing, they feel like they can get back into it. But the second Coach Janda thinks he needs to go into gun or spread it out, then things are getting a little desperate, and he's trying to get back in this game as soon as possible.
And they will start out of the gun. but they do have wing backs in there. And it's going to be a handoff to Izon Henry as he forges forward up to the 35. Derek Cho stopping him there after a gain of 4.
You know, it looked like Izon had a great head of steam, and that's what happens when you start in the gun. But the negative to that is that you give the defense more time to actually fight against those blocks. It's a great run, 4 yards, but it could have been a lot more if you just have better blocking and less time for the defense to react.
8:35 to go. Clock running here. 2nd and 6 from the 35 for the Bells. And it'll be Smith taking taking the snap. He'll keep it this time, and a nice hit laid on him there after just a minimal gain. That was Philip Carending making the tackle. They give him the 37 for a gain of 2.
Carending, from what it looks like here, probably their nickel corner. You know, slot corners have to be able to make these tackles. They're coming in for linebackers a lot of times. This is a great job reading, reacting, getting a pretty big quarterback down.
The Bells will call timeout with 8:01 to go in the second quarter as their first charge timeout. 3rd and 3 from the 37. What play would you like to see run here?
You know, sticking with what the Bells do best, I'd like to see under center, a handoff to Izon Henry, right up the middle. Just let your blockers do their work and get these 3 yards. I think Izon has the ability to do it. He always falls forward.
Yep.
The Bells have been pretty good on the offensive line.
And that's a big thing you mentioned, Akshaj, falling forward instead of backward.
I mean, it's one of those little things you don't really notice and doesn't get shown on the stat sheet as a big thing. When it piles up, 1-yard carries become 3-yard carries.
Yep.
And soon it looks like you take a bad day into a great day, all because of the little thing.
That's exactly right. So the Bells break that huddle with Coach John Emerius. It'll be 3rd and 3. Excuse me, 3rd and 4 from the 37. They need the 41. It's about 3.5 that they actually need. So here we go. Big 3rd down play. It's going to be a handoff to Joaquin Moreno. Gets the edge. Has the first down. Puts a bit of a stiff arm there on the cornerback trying to make the tackle. Now is number 28, Curtis Alves, and it will be a first down as they spot the ball at the 42-yard line for a gain of 5.
I mean, Joaquin Moreno is the backup quarterback, it looks like, for the Bells, and he's getting handoffs here. I know Coach Janda isn't big on trick plays, doing all these different stuff, but when you have a quarterback as your running back as well, there's a lot of stuff you can do out here.
Yep. Yeah, anybody's a threat to run, including Wade Smith, who has taken it a couple of times. Joaquin Moreno is the running back. The give is to Joaquin. The former number 3 takes it up near midfield and gets plowed back to the 49. Making a nice tackle there, Davis Salam. They do give him midfield. That was a gain of 8, so Joaquin doing his thing.
I mean, that was just great blocking, and great job by Joaquin following his blocks down the field. He didn't try to break out of the play, followed the path that was given to him, got 9 yards out of it. It's a great run. It's something the Bells will desperately take. They're knocking on the door here, about to cross midfield. It'll be interesting to see what they do when they are in the same spot as last drive.
Classic double wing formation here. Moreno in motion. The pitch is to Joaquin, and he has the first down, falls forward inside the 48. Wyatt Gibson helping to make the stop alongside Salam and Carendang. They will give him the 47-yard line. It'll officially go down as a gain of 3.
Now, the reason you pitch out of the double wing, because it seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
Pitching it out when you're so bunched up, is to let your running back read the offensive line and see which gap to actually attack. Stanford did it a lot with Bryce Love.
Yep.
Pitch it back to him, let him see where to run. On short downs like this, only 2 to 3 yards, lets your running back pick the easiest hole and get the first down.
I don't know, offset wing formation there as they go to Henry this time. And they're saying the football is out. Mitty says they have it. And it is in the hands of Shane Aberg, number 53 in a white uniform. Henry fumbles, recovered by Aberg, and it's Mitty football near midfield.
And this is probably the only negative we have on Izon Henry. He's had fumbling issues in the past, Had him last year, had him to start this year as well. You know, tough play from him. But what's really interesting about high school football in particular is how players play both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
He just fumbled. Now he's going to be guarding Mitty's best wide receiver. How is he going to respond? And that's going to be big to make sure this game doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, when you play both sides of the football, you really have to have a next play mentality. And he will be lined up opposite. Looks like Ian Collier over there, number 13, or no, Jacob Miller, number 10. They've also got Ray Mello Murphy and Ian Collier out there, and their fourth wide receiver is Hunter Lucas. No, Connor Gamblin. So Shamir Bey throwing deep on the sudden change, and it's picked off! Adam Hayashi with a major league interception.
That was beautiful right there. I mean, Shamir Bey throws it up to his best wide receiver. It's who's going to get it. Throws it a little far to the outside. Had inside leverage with his receiver, but let him too much. And Hayashi, beautiful play, tiptoeing on the sideline. What a sight.
1st and 10 from the 25 for the Bells. They throw a little off target, but what a catch by Adam Hayashi.
I mean, that's beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see. That's the mentality you need to have as a defense. Offense turns it over, no problem, we'll get it right back.
So the defense gets its first stop of the evening. 6:27 to go, second quarter, 1st and 10 from the 25. It's Wade Smith, bad snap. He's going to have to fall on it back inside the 20 at the 16, so they're going to lose 9 right off the bat.
And you know, to begin the game, we talked a little bit about shooting yourself in the foot. It was in the context of Mitty's penalties. But the Bells, you know, you got momentum right here. That kills it instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough for any offense. And especially for Janda's offense, where he loves to just run the ball. 2nd and 19, you're probably going to have to pass. It's going to be tough to see now.
Really behind the chains here after the bad snap. They do come out with 3 receivers. Tyreek Madriz Jinx lined up near side. It will be a pass. Wade Smith looking to Tyreek. Good pitch and catch there. He's up past the 25. Finally gets wrangled down by Curtis Alves, but that was a solid gain of around 9 yards. And it will, they'll give him 10, so it's 3rd and 9. It's a lot more manageable.
But one thing I want to focus on, Abram Robin right there, when trying to tackle, did a great job. He tried to go to the ball, and it's basically causing this wide receiver to focus more on securing the ball. There is no rack opportunity here because he's so focused on holding on to the ball. He basically stopped all forward progression.
Smith, pockets collapsing, and he gets sacked. And that's Davis Salam with the sack. And it'll be a loss of 4, and the punting unit will have to come out onto the field.
You know, I would call that a coverage sack right there. He got plenty of time to look down the field, Smith did. But, I mean, no one was open. He didn't want to push it. Pocket collapsed slowly around him. That's the type of pressure you want to see. Squeeze the ends, push up the center. Quarterback has nowhere to go.
So Schaefer on to punt. And it's Ray Mello Murphy back deep to return, standing inside his own 45. This punt coming from the 22, a good snap. And a very good boot here. It is going to take a sideways hop out at the 47. It's going to be a 31-yard punt, no return. Looked like it was going to go a lot longer than that.
I mean, bad hop, obviously, but it's good that you don't allow a return.
Yeah, especially to a guy like Ramello Murphy.
But it looks like there's a flag on the field.
Yeah, it is going against Bellarmine. They will likely tack those yards on after the kick. So Mitty should be set up potentially inside Bellarmine territory. See if they're going to walk it off from the 47. And yes, they will. So they'll put it at the 48 of BCP. So first accepted penalty against Bellarmine. Mitty, 3 accepted penalties. So 1st and 10 from the 48. 4:21 to go here in the first half. Handoff Tabankura off left tackle. And he's going to get stood up. Tyreek Madrid-Jinks laying the lumber.
What a hit. What an incredible hit right there. You know, the Bells were playing off again. They allow Tabankura to come in, cut in a little bit, but then beautiful hit, gang tackling right there. Hold him down, then knock him to the ground.
Tyreek providing the final kind of death blow there on that play. It's 2nd and 8 from the 46. Shamir Bey, nowhere to go. Just going to throw one up. He's got Raymelo Murphy, and he makes the catch. He'll be tackled inside the 10. A jump ball, 3 flies up kind of throw, and it's Raymelo Murphy who comes down with it.
I mean, that was a busted play from the very beginning. Shamir Bey had nowhere to go. Thomas Blevins came in. Great blitz. Chucks it up to his best wide receiver, and you'd like to see that go the other way. I mean, when the ball's up in the air, someone should get it. This time, Raymelo Murphy got the better end. But the biggest thing right now for the Bell defense is how far off the Mitty wide receivers they're playing. I mean, this is 5 yards of separation on the end zone. I mean, this could be an easy slant for a touchdown.
Shamir Bey is going to take off and run. He's inside the 5, a nice spin move, but staying with him there and making the tackle. Looked like that was Ben Richards. There were a couple of guys over there, but that was a nice gain for Shamir Bey. That pass play officially 38 yards, and Raymelo Murphy now 3 catches for 101 yards.
I mean, great players will always play well. They always find a way to make an impact. Raymelo Murphy is doing that right here. Jump ball, easy catches, taking it a long way down. He's doing everything.
2.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Monarchs threatening to go up 3 scores. 2 backs alongside Shamir Bey. The 3-year starting quarterback hands it off to Tabankura, and he gets dropped at the 2. First guy to hit him, Garrett Arnold, also getting in on the play, Adam Hayashi.
Well, that's a great job by Adam Hayashi there. When you're down at the goal line, all corners have to be willing to tackle. That run could have gone into the end zone, but he comes in, cleans up from the edge, limits it to a short gain.
Under 2 minutes to play now. 3rd and goal from the 2, and the Bells are going to need to stand tall here.
I think depending on what the play call is here, we'll know if Mitty wants to go for it on 4th down. If you throw a pass here, it's probably you telling your offensive coordinator, you know, I'm giving you 2 plays here, try to get into the end zone. Go something conservative like a run. They'll probably be kicking the field goal here. Either way, the optics of going for it right on the goal line has always been really interesting in football. Looks like they'll take a timeout to talk over it even more.
So they let the clock run down as much as possible, down to 1:30. It is the first charge timeout against the Monarchs with 1:30 to go exactly here in the first half. That's San Jose City College, the home of Bellarmine varsity football. Shout out to the JV team for getting a win over the Monarchs, 14-6. They held them scoreless for the first 3.5 quarters of the game before a late Monarch touchdown made that a 1-score game. Got a stop on 4th down, got the win.
So like I was mentioning right before the timeout, going for on the goal line, especially 2 yards to go, it's a really interesting decision head coaches have to make. You'd almost argue that it's worse to kick the field goal just because of field position.
Yeah.
And with a defense like the Monarchs have right now that's swarming, doing a great job, I think the Monarchs will go for it if they don't get it here. But that changes the way your defense has to play too for the Bells. They have to be a little more aggressive now.
My guess is they would go for it as well unless there's, say, a 10-yard holding penalty or a big loss on 3rd and goal. Yeah, if you're 2 yards or within 5 yards or within, probably going for it.
I think that's why they took the timeout. This is a bigger play in the context of this game. The Bells really have to hold up here.
Shotgun spread, trips near the line of scrimmage. And it's Shamir Bey running out to his right, and he's going to not get there. Great tackle made by Justin Lewinsky, and Tyreek Madrid-Jinks It's going to be a gain of 1 and 4th and goal from the 1. Here we go.
And right off the bat, you see the offense is staying on there, looks like. I mean, this is it. This is where legends are made. This is where you have to show your will. Get deep down, fight against that offensive line, get lower leverage, and push them back. The Bells did this to start the game, but it'll be interesting to see what they do now. Mitty clearly not going to take any risks, looking to run down the clock quite a bit.
My guess is they call a timeout because they're not anywhere near the line of scrimmage, and they're going to talk this over. They wanted to use as much clock as they possibly could. Well, the clock's still running. Now, I know they don't show a play clock in high school football, but they snap that at 1:30. There's no way you have a 55-second play clock. I think they're probably going to put more time back on the clock would be my guess.
If they don't, then it's an interesting decision by Coach Janda on the other side to not call a timeout of his own. I mean, even if you stop him here, you're probably going to be on the 2-yard line, less than 30 seconds.
I think you just take it into halftime at
yeah,
that point.
but I mean, it's going to be tough even here. A bad run, a bad snap. There are a lot of problems that happen when you're that close to your end zone. I think what we're trying to say is it's never a bad thing when you're right near the goal line. Even if you mess up, you're always going to have a positive there.
Agreed. They do keep the clock at 32 seconds. That was a lot of time to run off. 4th and goal. And here comes Shamir Bey.
Out of the gun again.
Tabankura to his right. He's going to toss it to Tabankura, and he gets in there. Nice play design. And it's 20-0 Mitty on a 1-yard touchdown run for Zach Tabankura.
It's actually a really risky play design, actually. I mean, throwing the pitch with 1 yard to go.
Kind of force the Bellarmine defenders on the edge to make a decision. You go for Shamir, you go for 25.
I don't know. I don't think if I was a head coach or a play caller, I couldn't do that. I would definitely run it straight up the middle. But kudos for the Mitty offense. I mean, they're getting it done in every which way. Running the ball, passing it. Hasn't been much that can stop them except for penalties and that one interception.
So Gunnar Wydick on for the extra point. He is now 3 for 3 on PATs in this game and for the season. Mr. Wydick now 14 for 15. It's 21-0 Mitty. 29 seconds to go in the first half. Is this a take a knee and get to halftime, depending on the kick return?
I think it's depending on the kick return especially. If you get to midfield or something like that, you got to try to get some points here. You'll have ball to start the second half, obviously. I mean, this is the double whammy most head coaches love. Score now, score when you start the third quarter, and you're back in this game. I think the biggest issue for the Bells is just how in every facet of the game, it seems Mitty has been outplaying them. Especially on defense, Mitty has been able to run the ball, been able to pass it now. Usually when it's one side, there's some adjustments you can make.
Yeah.
But when a team is just imposing their will on you, it's a lot tougher.
So kickoff from the 40. See what kind of kick return. The Bells have gotten a couple of nice kick returns from Izon Henry and Adam Hayashi. See what happens here.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was a squib, actually.
And you're right, Akshaj, it is a squib. And it's going to be caught by Andrew Packard at around the 20. He's going to get to, he stays on his feet well to about the 33. They have 21 seconds with 2 timeouts. My guess is it's a knee here.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe they would try to throw one deep on this play. If it doesn't work out, take a knee, head into halftime. Mitty only having 1 timeout does that help them there because they don't have to worry too much about potentially turning it over on downs.
Or maybe you run it once, see if you can get something, and then if not, they are going to spread the field 4 wide. So forget what I just said. Reese Burrill is the running back alongside Wade Smith, the quarterback. Wade Smith will throw to the outside, and he has his man. That is Nick Teresi, another quarterback by trade, making the catch. I saw him running routes pregame. That was a nice gain of 12 yards.
Well, I mean, that was a good play. Those are the type of routes you want. Take 6 seconds off the clock, get 12 yards, get to the outside. The Bells can't be going for a touchdown here. I mean, best case they have maybe 3 to 4 more plays.
3 at the most.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to get down to the 30, maybe the 35, kick a long field goal.
Let's see what kind of leg Schaefer has from there. Again, 4 wide receivers. Wade Smith, flush out of the pocket, flag is out. Catch is made by Garrett Arnold, who has 4 receptions coming in on the season. And my guess is that this is a hold against the Bellarmine offensive line.
Looks like it right there. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, the center, Ethan Galbraith, right up the middle, probably will get called for this. Sometimes, you know, you have to make a professional decision, make sure your quarterback doesn't get killed right before the end of the half.
A business decision. And they are going to mark the 10 yards off. Second accepted penalty against the Bells. And unless Bellarmine calls a timeout, they probably won't get a playoff. And indeed, we have hit halftime. They did not get the snap off in time, and so the first 24 minutes are officially in the books. It's Mitty 21, Bellarmine nothing. 2 touchdowns in that second quarter for the Monarchs, helping to create some separation. We'll take a break, and when we come back, it'll be Akshaj Dwividula on play-by-play for the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Bellarmine Varsity Football on BCP Sports Live.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Bellarmine Football here on BCP Sports Live, streaming on YouTube. We're about a minute out, I would say, from the start of the third quarter. I'm Akshat Drividula. I'll be doing play-by-play for this quarter. Alongside me is Kevin Dana. And Kevin, Mitty up 21 on the Bells. Started off great for the Bells, but it's slowly gotten worse. What do you think the Bells need to do to get back in this game?
Yeah, well, it goes back to what Mike Dana was telling me during the week. They got to limit the big plays because first drive you have Mitty 3rd and 16, then they hit you with a 27-yard touchdown pass. They've also had a 58-yard pass to Ray Mello Murphy. Then that kind of Hail Mary play for 38 yards. If you kind of take those plays out of the equation, this is a much closer ball game. And we've seen that Bellarmine has been able to move the football as long as they have stayed ahead of the sticks. But when you get like a fumbled snap on a first down, you're looking at 2nd and 19, that could really stall things. So if you play a mistake-free football with respect to not fumbling snaps, not getting behind the chains, you can make some noise on offense and then just limiting the big plays on defense.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think when we look at the Bellarmine offense and defense and the schemes they run, this isn't really complicated. It's a lot about simple fundamentals. The Bells can easily get back to that. So let's see how they do it right now. We're just about ready for kickoff. Back deep again, Izon Henry and Adam Hayashi. Both of them have had great returns.
Yes.
Probably one of the best parts of the Bells' entire game.
But yeah, Mitty has to be feeling pretty confident right now. They hit a lot of big plays. They were able to bleed the clock. They showed they can also beat Bellarmine with just kind of 4 yards in a cloud of dust as well. And so they got to be feeling really good about their position. They beat Bellarmine by 3 touchdowns last year. Usually these games are a lot closer. 5 of the last 7 have been decided by 7 points or less. But Mitty looking really good tonight.
Absolutely. So, as I said, returning for the Bells, Adam Hayashi and Izon Henry, and kicking for Mitty is number 88, Gunnar Wydick. He's a 6'3 junior. He's been pretty automatic when it comes to PATs. But you know, the Bells starting off here on offense after this kick return. It's going to be a big drive.
Well, they go onside kick, but Bellarmine ready for it.
That caught me by a lot of surprise. I mean, Mitty trying to go for the death blow.
Up 21-0, onside kick to start the second half.
I mean,
Sione Taufo saying, hey, let's put the nail in the coffin right now.
you think you've seen everything.
What
So
was that, Saints-Colts Super Bowl when they went onside to start the second half?
Yeah. At quarterback for the Bells, it looks like it will stay Wade Smith. Hasn't had a terrible game by any means. Bells are in the double wing. It's a handoff to Izon Henry. He gets tackled and tackled hard by, look like Curtis Alves from over here. Gain of -1, loss of a yard on the play. Will be second down.
Yeah, I mean, that's the second time we've seen a big hit from Curtis Alves, number 28 for them. He really laid the lumber there to Izon Henry. Well, Izon had 38 yards his first carry. Over his last 6, he's gone for 9 yards.
Well, out of the gun, it's a pitch to Henry, a little behind. It's a great job there by Derek Chow from getting off to the edge, pushing Izon out for what looks to be, from the spot, a gain of 2, really. No, just gain of 1, so 3rd and 10 for the Bells. Wade Smith coming back out. No, I was right. Gain of 3, 3rd and 8 for the Bells.
That was a good job by Izon to kind of wrangle that one in and keep going.
Bell split out wide now. Wade Smith, play action, drops back, looking deep. It's a screen pass. Beautiful pass over there, and Reese Burrill, who's the starting linebacker actually, takes it for about 2 more yards. It's 4th down, and the Bells will be forced to punt.
Well, it was a good play design outside of the fact that there were no blockers in front of Reese Burrill. It looked like a design screen, but you got to have blockers out in front of you. And
Absolutely.
Reese Burrill couldn't make the whole defense miss.
Back to punt. Andrew Schaefer. Out to return is number 11, Romello Murphy, the star player who's done a ton of damage this game. Schaefer gets the punt away. Murphy catches it, makes a man miss, cuts up field, and is spun down. And it looks like there's going to be, there's a flag on the play. Looked like a block in the back from Derek Cho.
I mean, that just shows me how confident Romello Murphy is. He had a guy bearing down on him. Usually you'll see a guy put up the fair catch, but I mean, he took it no problem. He knew he was going to make that first guy miss.
I mean, some players just know when they have the advantage. They know they can get it done. He got it done right there. Great job, but it's going to be coming back because of the block in the back by Derek Cho. Mitty will start on what looks to be the 15-yard line.
They haven't marked off the yardage yet, I don't think. Yeah, here we
All right,
go.
yeah, they're moving back now. That would make sense. So the run was brought down at the 15. It'll be marked around the 7.5. Half the distance to the goal on the illegal block in the back. Mitty's offense will come back out, and that means Mir Bay, who has had a phenomenal game by our statistics, be coming back. Apart from his interception, perfect with the ball.
9 for 10 for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns. He hasn't thrown an incomplete pass yet because of that interception.
Bay with a handoff. That's a great job there by Tyreek. Tackling Tabangura for a loss of what has to be 5 yards. Mitty will have it second down on the 2-yard line.
Man, Bellarmine just really getting quickly into the backfield there, and a huge loss on first down. Now they really have Mitty pinned back.
Mitty still staying in the gun. They spread it out, trips on the far side. Romello is the only one on the near side. Shamir Bay will take the snap, eventually faked it a little bit. Bay takes the snap, looks to pass, throws it. That's a short completion all the way down to field to Ian Collier, the wide receiver.
But it gets him off the goal line.
Absolutely, yeah, that's, I mean, risky to pass in any situation there, but great job by Mitty. Just a little bit of breathing room for this crucial 3rd down and 12.
Big opportunity here for the Bellarmine defense to get some positive momentum with their defense and potentially get some great field position for the offense.
Melo Murphy again, the near side receiver. Shamir Bay back to pass. Beautiful throw right near the sideline, and that will be completed to Connor Gamblin for what is a Mitty first down, going against some off coverage and just easy pitch and catch.
Yeah, he just needed to make one guy miss, needed 12, got 14. Connor Gamblin's had a big game. That's his 4th reception. He's got 54 yards unofficially.
That will spot the ball at the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Mitty. 8:40 to go in this game, up 3 touchdowns. Shamir Bay takes the snap, hands it off to Tabangola, and he gets leveled there by that man again, Madriz Jenks. He's been everywhere on the field.
I'm loving what I've seen from him defensively. He's had a couple of big hits and then also had a nice catch on offense as well. He's done a lot of good on both sides of the football.
Stops the play for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Mitty going 4 wide receivers, 2 on the near side, 2 on the far side. Bay takes the gun snap. It's a pitch out to Tabangura, and he gets tackled for unofficially what looks to be a gain of 1.
So again, another 3rd and long situation for the Bellarmine defense, and thus far 3rd and long hasn't treated them well. 3rd and short's been a lot better for this Bellarmine defense.
Gain of 2 officially on the play. It'll be 3rd and 8 now. Mitty on the 22-yard line. 4 wide receivers again. Trips on the near side. Romello Murphy is going to be playing the slot. Here's Shamir Bey. Takes the snap, dropbacks to pass. And almost intercepted. It was off the hands of Ian Collier. It looked like Adam Hayashi and Garrett Arnold both had chances to come up with that.
Yeah, Garrett inadvertently kicked that ball up in the air with his foot as he was falling down, and then almost kept that off the ground. That was nearly a big interception for the Bells. That's the first incomplete pass thrown by Shamir Bey.
So now it will be a kick by Ian Collier, it looks. So the wide receiver / punter. That's a lot of athleticism out of a position you don't normally see that from. There's a kick. Eyes on Henry. Back, low snap. Collier gets it away. It's a line drive punt. Takes a nice Mitty bounce. Eyes on Henry will take it. Cuts to the outside. He's got a room. He's running down the field. Cuts it back and is brought down at the 27-yard line. Terrific return by Eyes on Henry. Gives the Bells great field position.
A really nice block by Tyreek Madriz-Jinks as well, near midfield, to really help spring him that extra 20-plus yards. And it wasn't a block in the back. He made sure he got in front of him. Tyreek has played very well tonight.
Been absolutely great. The Bells now with a chance to get back in this game. 7:06 left to go in this third quarter. They'll be on the 29-yard line. And here we are back into double wing with Wade Smith out of the gun. Eyes on Henry to his left. Takes a snap. It's
Joaquin.
It's Joaquin. He tries to get to the outside, cuts it back, gets bumped back, still on his feet. He's tackled by a bevy of Mitty players.
And it looked like a pinball there. He bounced off that tackle. Looked like he was going to be stopped at around the 25 and somehow got another 3 yards out of that.
So one of the many quarterbacks Bellarmine has on their roster taking the run there. Had a great carry, 7 yards. It will be on the 23-yard line now, 2nd and 3. The Bells will go back to that double wing. Dean Moreno is back with Wade Smith. It's another handoff to and he's plowing down the field, stays on his feet. Again, needs to be tackled by multiple Mitty players, one of which Jacob Miller. Another great gain there. The Bells are marching down the field now.
Yeah, he took Jacob Miller and Davis Alam for a ride there. I mean, he is a tough runner, Joaquin. And just another big gain is unofficially, I have Joaquin at 7 carries for 39 yards. That's about 5.5 per toe to the rock. You will take that.
1st and 10 on the 15-yard line now. Just around 6 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Under center now for Wade Smith. It's a fake pitch. Instead, they're going to hand the ball off to Michael Shannon.
He doesn't get a lot of carries.
No, he doesn't. Interesting play design there by the Bells. Fakes the pitch, pitches it forward. Only a 2-yard gain. Yeah, 2-yard gain, even though the ball is on the 12. So we'll say 2.5 yards, basically.
Yeah. We'll be generous. I'll give him 3 on my stat sheet.
Still in the double wing. Wade Smith is now out of the gun, giving it to Eyes on Henry. Tries to get outside and gets leveled by Jacques Allard, from what I could see, among the many Mitty players. Again, Mitty tackling in groups here. But it's a decent gain against around a 6 to 5 yard gain, depending on where you had that last play. 3rd and 2 now for the Bells. The 8-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, Izon took a big hit. He also delivered a big hit to Jacques Allard as well.
Smith in the gun in the double wing formation. It's a handoff to Moreno. Tries to cut it outside. Cuts it back now. This is going to be a close mark. Well, it'll be interesting to see where the refs put it.
I think he's a yard short.
And you'll be right. Yes, he's a yard short. Really more like a few inches short, actually. Ball's on the 6-yard line 4th and 1, Kevin. I think the answer is pretty obvious for what you got to do here.
Yeah, I mean, just push that pile forward. You need a touchdown on this drive. There's no bones about it. If you want to win this football game, you're down 3 possessions. And you're down 3 touchdowns. You need one score
Smith
here.
takes the snap, hands it off to Henry. Henry trying to get to the outside, gets it. That's going to be a first down for the Bells. Just under 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Bells slowly but surely making their way up the field.
That's a big run there by Izon Henry. There's a little bit of doubt. He's in the backfield. Good pursuit from Mitty. Was able to cut it up and has them inside the 5-yard line. Looks like they're around the 2. And so now you really need a touchdown.
First and 2. First and goal for the Bells. Down 3 touchdowns against Mitty. Smith will be under center. Classic double back. It's a pitch. And that's going to be a touchdown. No.
Oh, I thought he was in.
It looked like he was in from here, but the officials will mark him down. Looked like Joaquin Moreno again. So now this is going to be 2nd and basically 3 inches for the Bells as they try to punch it in here at the goal line.
Yeah, I thought he was in. That's tough.
Smith will go under center. This is the classic. Go back and he'll punch it in. That's an easy touchdown for the Bells. Put her on the board. Bellarmine now down 21-6 with a PAT coming.
That's exactly what you want to see there. Your offensive line, they played well against Vintage. They get the necessary short yardage there. And Bellarmine is in business. They are still in this game. It's only a couple of more stops, a couple of more scores. You've shown that you can stop this high-octane Mitty offense. Their spread attack. Now you've shown you can hit pay dirt. Now you just got to do it a couple more times on both sides of the football.
Schaefer gets the PAT in. If you remember, he had a kick blocked in the first quarter when the Bells only had 10 players on the field. But great touchdown there by Wade Smith. Gives the Bells a chance to get back on defense and really make this a game.
Yeah, well, Oxnard, they have to have some confidence now. The defense did really well, backed them up. It was all that 1st and 10 play inside the 10-yard line. Got the big 6-yard loss on first down. And even though Mitty did convert, eventually got a first down, they were able to kind of slow things down from there. Got the football back. Great field position thanks to the great kick return from Izon Henry. And Bellarmine was in business offensively.
Absolutely. 2:53 left to go in this third quarter. Bellarmine down 21-7 to the Mitty Monarchs.
No, honestly, Akshay, Bellarmine's defense, they're going to need to make a big play. What I mean is they're going to need a turnover.
Absolutely. I think from what we saw earlier, they have the capacity to do that.
Yeah.
It's all about execution now. Andrew Schaefer will be kicking it off. Back to Ramello Murphy, and it looks like Ian Collier down there. Man, that punter can do everything.
Yeah, he's going to sleep well tonight.
Schaefer kicks it off. High, booming kick over to Murphy. He takes it in the corner end zone. He'll cut it back to the sideline. Now cuts it upfield. Has the speed and gets tackled down by Will Malik. There's a fumble.
Now, was he down?
We're still looking for the call. The Bells are celebrating like they have the ball. And nothing yet from these officials. They're discussing. Murphy cut it well upfield, but then fumbled by the tackle by Will Matlick. And they're going to say he was down by contact. It'll be Mitty ball at the 31-yard line, and these fans are not happy.
Well, if you're Bellarmine, you got to get your head back in the game, right? You thought you were going to have a short field again. Now you're not. You're going to have to still get that ball back on defense. Got to lock back in because we've seen Mitty can hit you with one play, and boom, they're in the end zone, or boom, they're 50 yards down the field. So just because you thought you had the turnover doesn't mean that you actually got the turnover. Can't take this play off. Cannot. Got to get back in, locked in defensively, and locked in mentally.
Mitty again running with a 4-receiver set. Trips to the near side. Shamir Bey will take the snap. Hands it off to to number 25, Tabankura. About 6 on that carry, 6 to 7. Decent chunk play for the Monarchs. Be 2nd down and 3 to go. The 35-yard line.
Remember, their starting running back, James Thomas, is not playing tonight. He was in street clothes, so this is their backup running back who is pretty capable.
Shamir Bey will take the snap, keeps it on the pitch, almost got tackled, but manages to slip away. Darts forward, taking down at what looks to be a yard short from our view of the first down line. It'll be.
Yeah, they haven't put the ball down yet. He looks to be a half yard short, though. I think they're going to measure it.
150 left to go here. This spot's going to be pretty important. From what we see right now, it looks to be a 3rd and half a yard for these Bells. You know, Kevin, one thing we've noticed, Mitty running a lot of 4-receiver sets, spreading the Bell defense out.
Yeah, no, they really are. They are known for their spread offense these last few years, and they have run it very well tonight. And they're still working on that spot. This is close. This is very close.
And they're going to call first down.
Just got it.
I mean, that was probably the tip of the football, an inch or two. But first down for the Monarchs. Trying to answer back after Bellarmine took it off the great punt return by Izon Henry. Punched it in with the Wade Smith 1-yard QB sneak for a touchdown.
You know, considering how much time is left on the clock and, you know, how Mitty can drain the clock at times, another score from the Monarchs might end this thing. So if you're Bellarmine, you've got to keep them off the scoreboard on this drive.
Shamir Bey again. He'll be in the gun probably for most of this. Hands it off to Turn Bunger. Recaro, he cuts it back. Oh, and has a head of steam and green grass ahead of him, and that's a touchdown for Tabankura.
62 yards to the house. It just outran the entire defense. Now there's a Bellarmine player down.
That's
on the sideline at around the 5.
Looks like Nick Teresi, who's down on the sideline. But right there, I mean, that's a handoff up the middle that just bounces outside and goes all the way for 6. Kevin, that's demoralizing for any team.
That is, because they had really bottled up Tabankura pretty well. I had him at 11 carries for 21 yards before he just went for 62 right there. And he just made one move, and once he got to the outside, he was gone. And literally just said the play before, any sort of score could put this game out of reach for the Bells. Well, now they still have a quarter and change to go, but down 3 touchdowns to this team, it's a big ask late in the 3rd quarter.
Big ask indeed. Your score right now with 1:25 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Mitty 27, Bellarmine 7. PAT upcoming right now. It'll be Gunnar Weidick who will be kicking this for Mitty. He's been perfect so far.
Yeah, he's just missed 1 extra point all season. He's done a really nice job kicking for them. He has a couple of field goals as well.
And it's not exactly clear.
Is this after the play? So it looks like they have 2 personal foul penalties after the touchdown. So the touchdown counts, and then I want to say there were 2 15-yard penalties against the Monarchs.
Looks like it from here. We had official coming here to sort it all out.
Or is it just it's just first down?
Oh.
Yeah, they're taking the points off the field.
Okay, so there was a penalty on the field, some way back,
Yeah.
all the way near the goal line. So it's 21-7 now. Bells catch a break here. Don't give up the touchdown. Now dealing with Mitty on their 30-yard line. Threatening. But, I mean, for Bellarmine, that's a lucky break.
Yeah, that's a lifesaver.
Shamir Bey will take the snap, hand it off to Tebenkura. He cuts it back upfield before he gets knocked down from what looks to be Ben Richards. Ben Richards, the linebacker, comes in, cleans it up. So a great carry.
Yeah.
With around a minute to go, Mitty might be content to just keep the ball here
Yeah.
for the end of this third quarter.
This might work out even better for Mitty if they end up scoring a touchdown on this drive and they keep the ball into the fourth quarter. But you can see that last run gave Tavenkura confidence. Goes off for 32, breaks another solid run for 7. He's got his juices flowing right now.
Bunch trips for Mitty. Shamir Bey will take the snap. It's Ian Collier in motion. It's a handoff to Collier. Cuts it upfield before a horde of Bells will tackle him down at around the 18-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it. But it'll be a first down for Mitty as they're slowly marching up the field. Clock continues to roll.
Yeah, this is perfect for the Monarchs.
Spotted at the 18-yard line. First and 10. Under 30 seconds. I'll be surprised if they take another snap here.
Well, they're heading to the line of scrimmage.
Shamir Bey looking back at the sideline. 10 seconds left to go in the quarter. Keeps on looking back. Takes the snap. It's a handoff. And a great run, actually, by Philip Kerending, the third-string running back who's become the backup because, as we've mentioned, James Thomas has been hurt. That will do it for your third quarter. Bellarmine puts a touchdown on the board, but Mitty is threatening heading into the fourth. Akshat Drivadula, and coming back for next quarter, Kevin Dana will be on the play-by-play. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit.
We're back for the start of the fourth quarter here on BCP Sports Live. It is 21-7, Mitty leading Bellarmine. The Monarchs driving 2nd and 4 from the BCP 12-yard line. And Shamir Bey will take the shotgun snap. He's going to keep it. Play action over the middle, has his man in the end zone. That's Ian Collier for a touchdown. And now the Bells are really up against it, Akshaj.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you mentioned this in the last quarter, Kevin. This worked out perfectly for Mitty. Kill an extra minute 30 on the clock. Get your touchdown for the Bells. They got burnt deep really fast in this game. Switched to a cover 2 soft zone. It's just been picked apart for the rest of the game.
Shamir Bey, 12 for 14, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns, just the 1 interception.
I mean, apart from that 1 interception, which was a little bit of a bad throw, but a great job by Adam Hayashi. He's been perfect for Mitty. He's done everything they've needed and more.
Here's the extra point from Gunnar Weidick. That is no good. So still 27-7. Weidick 3 for 4 on PATs tonight and 14 for 16 this season. Well, 11:57 to go in the fourth. If the Bells are to have any hope, they're going to need to score, and they're going to need to score quickly.
And I think this is the biggest problem Bellarmine has. Their offense isn't built for quick strikes.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes against everything Coach Janda wants, to have to spread it out, chuck it down the field. If anyone can do it, these Bells can. They have the ability to march down the field, probably going to see a lot more hurry up rather than spreading it out, I think, for this
agree.
first play. But I still expect a lot of double wing and a lot of runs.
I as well. Time not on the Bell's side after the first play in the fourth quarter goes for 6. Kevin Nana alongside Akshaj Dwividula, Bellarmine Sr., myself, BCP class of 05. We have Jack Morris, a senior, on our broadcast crew. Nick Coker, also a senior. Samarth Garish, a junior. And Diego Harta, a freshman. All supervised by our faculty man, Brad Lindeman.
This has been the one part of the entire game the Bells have done well at.
Yep.
I think a big return here is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, they'll take a kick return for a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
Save some clock in the process. Gunnar Wydick getting ready to send it deep. He did pooch it last time, no pooch this time. And it's going to be Thomas DiVittorio, number 21, taking it back. He's up past the 20, and an ankle tackle made by Derek Cho, who's had a nice game on defense, as he's one of the 4 captains on this team. And DiVittorio takes it up to the 25, 1st and 10 for the Bells from there.
Like we were mentioning earlier, this is where Coach Janda really struggles a bit. You know, just deciding, will I spread it out? Because he doesn't make his team to spread the ball out. He doesn't build it that way. His players aren't the best at it. But, you know, this is what the doctor ordered. This is what they need to do. And if the Bells can show they can pass the ball well here, it opens everything up if the game gets closer.
Well, we'll have twins to the near side. And it's going to be Shannon and Packard, and Bellarmine's going to have to use a timeout.
Oh, that's tough, especially if you're trying to come back into this game. You're going to need those timeouts much later.
And you especially don't want to use it when the clock is stopped.
There had to be something here Coach Janda didn't like, something on the field, maybe some matchup, because looks like, I mean, you were mentioning they don't show the play clock up here, but you saw a minute nearly come off at one point. You have a ton of time to adjust if you need to, so it had to be some really big issue. Before the Bells, I mean, they started off this game very strong. On defense, except for 2 coverage busts, the defensive line was playing great. The offensive line was playing great. Block kick, few fumbles, an interception here, a fumble there, and everything's sort of gone south for the Bells since that opening quarter.
27-7, the Monarchs lead at 11:52 to go in the fourth quarter. Bellarmine with 2 timeouts remaining now. Packard split out to the near side. Andrew Packard, number 24. Got Ryan Packard on this team as well, number 82. And split out to the far side, a receiver as well. And this is Tommy Anderson in, and he throws it to Garen Arnold, who was that receiver split out to the far side. So Anderson with the grab, with the pass to Shannon, caught for a gain of 9. And it's 2nd and 1.
You know, Coach Janda did talk to you earlier this week, and he did say, as you told me, that he'd want to use multiple quarterbacks. We had seen basically all of Wade Smith actually taking the snaps. You know, new quarterback coming in for a new situation in the game. It's not something you always see, but it can work if each quarterback is used effectively.
Well, off coverage to the near side. Man in motion is Shannon. Anderson rolling out the pass, and that one is nearly picked off, and it is by Tabin Kerr. It was deflected right back into his breadbasket by Garrett Arnold, who nearly caught it after it was nearly picked. And Tabin Kerr gets the interception, and the Monarchs have it deep into Bellarmine territory with 10:57 to go in the fourth quarter.
I mean, that's a tough throw for a high school quarterback, throwing to the far end, across the hashes, deep across your body throw. I mean, you could see that. Tabin Kerr saw that the entire way. He broke on it perfectly. Couldn't get his hands on it the initial time. Luckily got it back. Not luckily, unluckily got it back and was able to make a play. But great anticipation by the Mitty cornerback there.
Well, now Mitty can really put this one to bed. Imagine they'll keep this on the ground and try to bleed away the clock as much as possible, but they could also score pretty quickly here. This high-octane Monarch attack bunch trips to the far side, fakes the pitch. Jameer Bey is going to tuck it and run. And Tyreek Madrid jinx laying the final blow there. He's a little slow to get up, Tyreek. He's had a great game defensively, has a reception as well.
And this is one of the big things that the Bellarmine offense has missed and that Mitty's exploiting. A few big pass plays early, that's how they got their first touchdown. Now you see the entire defense has to play back and respect that deep throw. It's opened up the run game tremendously for Mitty. It's allowing them to salt away this win and cut some clock.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. The toss to Carindang this time inside the 20. Cuts it back up the middle. He's inside the 10. A first down tackle made by Izon Henry, but not before a gain of more than 10 yards, and it'll be 1st and goal.
And again, this is the problem with this spread offense. Pitches like that, with a quarterback like Jameer Bey, you have to respect him. You have to commit to him. Causes your defense to collapse on itself. Easy pitch, easy run. Mitty can take their time now, knocking on the doorstep to really end this game.
Under 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. It's 1st and goal from the Bellarmine 8. To Bay's left is Tabankura. He'll get the handoff, bounces it to the outside. He's inside the 5, gets tripped up around the 3 for a gain of 5. There is still a guy down. It is Izon Henry, who was the last guy out of the pile there.
And I'd mentioned earlier in the game this idea of setting the edge, of making sure you keep runs on the inside. The Bells have lost this edge integrity. The C-gaps have been wide open. It's allowed for a lot of easy runs. The second you allow a cutback lane to form, it's bad trouble. It's bad news for any defense.
Carmelo Murphy in motion. And they'll also motion out Collier. Bay rolling out to his right, has a man wide open. Did Collier get to the end zone? And they're going to say his knee was down at, where are they going to mark this? The 2, the 1.5? It will be 3rd and goal. After the short completion, they'll mark it at the 2, so just a gain of 1.
Pretty interesting play call there. Off the play action, Collier slips out, just hides over by the far end zone, right near the corner. Low throw, that's why Mitty isn't celebrating another touchdown.
8:27 to go. It's 3rd and goal from the 2. That was the 5th catch of the game for Collier for 31 yards and a touchdown. Here's a snap. The handoff to Abenkura, and he scampers into the end zone for another Monarch touchdown. That'll make it 33-7, Mitty, with 8:16 to go in the 4th.
I think this Bellarmine defense has been on the field for a long time now. They must be getting tired, and it showed there. Just too easy. Great push by the Mitty offensive line. Cleared out that space. Tabankura with another, what must be the final touchdown, I would think, salting away this win, because that was demoralizing.
Extra point is good for Gunnar Weidick. It's 34-7. Mitty leading Bellarmine with 8:16 to go in the 4th quarter. Kevin down alongside Akshaj Dwividula. And how do you treat this final 8-16 if you're Mike Janda?
So I think you have to show your players that you're still in it to win it, obviously. So this series has to have a lot of urgency. I'd like to see what they did last time, spreading it out, throwing the ball. But making sure you do safe throws, don't do anything too crazy. It's really tough, you know. As a Bellarmine student and as a fan, I want to say they can come back, and it's possible. But really, this is about building morale and getting ready for next week, putting together a good drive.
And the Bells will be at home next week. They will take on the Serra Padres, so it only gets tougher.
In Serra, everyone knows, high school of arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. Great football program. The Bells might be reeling, but again, 8:16 left to go. There's a whole lot of football to be played.
Serra currently ranked 2nd in the Bay Area News HQ cue top 25. That'll be a touchback, and the Bells will have a 1st and 10.
Interesting that they called it a touchback just because the kick went back there. I know high school rules a little different.
Yeah, so if it gets to the end zone, it's a touchback on the fly.
Interesting.
And also different from college and the pros, it's 1st and 10 from the 20 like it used to be.
Wade Smith stays out of the game. It's probably because, from what we've seen, he seems to be better at running the ball.
Yeah.
You know, he's a big, strong guy. Bellarmine obviously looking to pass here down 27.
Tommy Anderson, screen toss goes out to Garrett Arnold. Makes a couple of guys miss. Nice move there. He does get tackled nicely by Adam Fox, but that's not before a gain of about 9 yards. Are they going to move the chains? Do they give him the 30? No. 9-yard gain.
You know, easy screen pass right there after what has to be a tough interception, not only for the quarterback, but also Garrett Arnold, who had the ball in his hands, gave it away, builds everyone's confidence up. 9 yards, easy pass, easy pitch. Keep it rolling.
One of the other quarterbacks, Nick Teresi, in at wide receiver. Now this is Wade Smith, and he's going to tuck it and run, and he's up near the 40. Good scamper of 16 yards for Wade Smith. Switching quarterbacks mid-drive.
You know, that's a really interesting thing. And one thing, as there's a Mitty player injured on the field, that the Bells could do is have Wade Smith actually stay in the game as a wide receiver or running back. Don't have to have all this back and forth. Keep them both in the backfield. Throw the Mitty defense off. If you have quarterbacks who can run and pass and some catch like this, you got to take advantage of it down big with not a lot of time left.
Well, the Mitty players taking a knee. We don't have a number on the injured Monarch. Clock is stopped with 7:28 to go in the 4th quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Bellarmine 45 for the Bells. But our focus is on the injured Mitty player right now. Head coach Sione Taufo out there right now. Former head coach at Menlo Atherton. Former offensive coordinator for the Mitty Monarchs. So it looks to be a right leg issue of some sort. Of course, don't want to speculate too much.
Player's taking a knee, so again, not speculating, but he's been on the field for a little bit. And you know, high school football is a great thing. A lot of people have fun, but football is a dangerous sport, and we just hope everyone stays safe.
Indeed, well said, Akshach. Up next for Mitty, they will have a Reardon at home. They play their home games at Foothill College. I believe they play one home game a year on campus. It's a lights issue, I believe, a neighborhood ordinance where you can think one game a year. Sarah has that same thing where they can only play one home game a year at night.
I remember when I was applying to high schools and I went to Mitty to shadow, biggest thing on campus that week was playing their one home game on Mitty's home turf. It's a huge deal, something I don't think Bellarmine actually does.
Yeah, they play all their home games at San Jose City College. Zach Posey, number 24, is the guy that needed to be helped off the field. We hope he's okay. So 7:28 to go, 1st and 10 from the 45. It's going to be Tommy Anderson out of the gun, 4 wide receiver set. He's back to pass, throws near side, has his man. It's Teresi. Tries to make a man move. Curtis Alves did pretty well to just hang on to him and let the rest of the defense rally after the gain of 5.
And one thing really interesting by Mitty, they haven't gone out of their base. They're throwing 5 guys on the line. It looks like a 3-4. 3-ish linebackers, 2 with a safety coming down. And they're just not guarding the slot receivers. You throw 8-yard outs, you'll get a lot of easy yardage that way because no one's pressing up on your receivers.
4 receivers again. Anderson out of the gun. Back to pass. Anderson looking over the middle of the field. Throws a tight spiral deep into double coverage, and it's incomplete. Intended for Nick Teresi. That was a very nice looking ball there. But that was covered well by Curtis Alves. Also back there, Adam Fox. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
No, it was a great ball indeed. Great throw. Throw to another former quarterback. Bell's mixing and matching a lot of different players right now.
They have 4 listed quarterbacks, and we've seen them all in some form. Nick Teresi, Joaquin Moreno, Tommy Anderson, and Wade Smith. The most quarterbacks I remember Bellarmine having on a roster. Tommy Anderson on 3rd and 5. Back to pass, throws near side. It's Teresi again. He has the first down. Spins out of a tackle and finished by Collier. First guy to him, Curtis Alves. And that'll take him to the 38 for a gain of 12, and they move the chains.
Like I was saying, quick 8-yard outs, 10-yard outs. Mitty is playing really soft on coverage, and they're not even trying to hide that. They just don't want to give up the deep play. As a play caller, you got to take advantage of that. You're down 27. Right now it's just about getting one score. Focus on this one drive. Make sure you can get some points on the board.
6:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Tommy Anderson, we have him at 4 for 6 for 35 yards and an interception. He's going to throw deep down the near sideline over the head of Teresi, who wasn't aware of where the football was, it looked like. Incomplete, well over his head. I don't think he realized that was in the air.
No, I don't think so either. It looked like he got a little slow out of his break. This wasn't really close, actually. Otherwise, he could have made a play on it. You know, I like the aggressive nature by Bellarmine. It's kind of refreshing to see. You'd like to see it maybe in the 2nd quarter, to the 4th as well. But it's a new look for this Bellarmine offense.
6:35 to go. Tommy Anderson has shown some nice arm strength here tonight as he goes back to pass. He's going to throw it far side of the field, and that was nearly intercepted by Ray Mello Murphy. That one kind of stayed up in the air a little longer than he would have liked as he was looking for Tyreek Maturiz Jinx, who has kind of been hobbled up in the 2nd half.
Indeed. But I think the biggest issue here for Tommy Anderson, you got to read and react a lot earlier. You got to anticipate this throw, especially on comebacks, out routes. If you throw it after the guy gets into his break, you've thrown it too late.
Yeah.
Right there, almost an interception. It's the right type of play design. You know, press up on these corners, these safeties, come back, get these easy yards.
3rd and 10, and yeah, that one could have used a little more oomph on it. And that will come with time. Of course, just in high school, and definitely has made some very promising throws. Anderson looking to his left, nice tight spiral, but throws it well over the head of Packard with Murphy in coverage, and it's 4th and 10.
You know, this is a pretty easy decision for the Bells. They'll be going for
Oh, yeah.
Again, I kind of like the play design. This is a lot of these outbreaking routes, pressing up on these corners. I'd like to see better results, but this is a good job by both the quarterback and the offensive play callers, just understanding what Mitty's doing and trying to attack it.
So 4th and 10 from the 38. 6:25 to go in the 4th quarter. Last gasp on this drive potentially for the Bells.
I think a stick route here would work really well if you
Okay.
throw a vertical on the near side, push these corners back. I mean, Mitty's been playing really off, and they're not even challenging these slot receivers. Just settle down right near the sticks. Should be enough for a first down.
We got DiVittorio in the slot, far side, low snap. Anderson able to stay on his feet initially, but eventually gets sacked by number 44, Michael Moscow. And that'll be a turnover on downs.
And, you know, just another miscue by this Bellarmine offense, which has been plagued by miscues, turnovers, bad blocking, a few interceptions, not many penalties, actually. That's been the one good thing here. Well disciplined. But sometimes a penalty or two wouldn't hurt so much if you were actually scoring.
1st and 10 from the 44, 6:22 to go in the 4th quarter. And the Monarchs, we imagine, will try to bleed the clock out here as best they can.
I mean, you never know. They did onside
Yeah.
up 21 to start the
That's true.
second half. The one thing I want to see from the Bells here is play press coverage. Really force the issue against these Mitty wide receivers. You have nothing to lose anymore. You got to be able to make a play, and playing this off just won't help you.
They have their backup quarterback in Reese Burton, number 5. He has thrown 2 passes this year. They have both been completed. And he has thrown for a total of 19 yards. Reese, 5'8", junior, 159-pounder. So that makes him class of 2021.
I mean, he's just built different from Shamir Bey. He's not the same type of physical presence that can ram into a guy, fall forward.
Shamir Bey, depending on what site you look at, 6'2", 196, 6'3", 190. This guy, 6 to 7 inches shorter. See what Burton has here. He's going to pitch it over to Karen Ding. Karen Ding up past midfield. Flag comes down. He is close to the first down marker. This might be coming back.
Probably will be, but again, Mitty going back to simple concepts like these pitches, reading the ends. It's been working constantly. The Bells have to adjust, throw two people off the ends, make it such that no matter what, someone's already responsible for the quarterback and already responsible for the running back.
Well, Mitty has done a lot of things right, but one thing Sione Taufo will probably hammer home to his group in film study this week, that was their 6th penalty for 56 yards. A lot of them have been, actually all 6 of their penalties have been holding penalties.
Holding, in my mind, when I see it, is usually an over-eager offensive line a lot of the times, just really trying to get in there. It's a good sign of a defensive line being able to be disruptive.
They'll hand it off. Karen Ding bouncing it to the outside up near the 45, stays on his feet, eventually topples out of bounds with the help from Reese Burrill. I'm going to spot this at the 46, it looks like. Should be a gain of 6 yards or 5. They'll spot it at the 45 for a gain of 5.
And this is pretty simple 4-minute drill stuff right here.
Yep.
Hand it off, watch him run. You get the first down, keep it going. You don't, punt it away.
2nd down 9 as we approach the 5:30 mark of the 4th quarter. It's Burton out of the gun. He's going to hand it off again. This is Karen Ding again as he hops forward to the 47, runs into a host of Bells. Last guy out of the pile there, J.B. Pellegrin, number 72. So they will give him 2 yards on the carry, and it makes it 3rd and 7.
And one thing Coach Janda can be happy about, when pushes come to shove, his defensive tackles and defensive ends, if they're just focused on the A and B gaps, really in the interior, they've played great actually.
No, they have.
It's only when they get outside, when you lose the edge, which isn't always on these defensive ends and tackles, that there have been a lot of problems.
4 receivers set. Daniel Lopez in the slot. Burton throwing, and he throws it well short of his intended target. Hunter Lucas, who had a touchdown reception earlier. That makes it 4th down, and the Monarchs will have to punt, so Bellarmine will get the football back at 3 and out.
4:39 left to go. Bellarmine down big. You're not expecting them to come back and win this game. You are hoping to see some improvements. So like we mentioned, defensive line playing strong up there. Now you want to see your offense get a few good runs, get some good blocking. Just the fundamentals you can work on for next week. Because as you mentioned, Sarah is a very tough team to play. And Bellarmine can't put up this performance against them.
Out comes Ian Collier. Good snap back to him. Collier will boot it away from the 47. And this will be fair caught by Izon Henry at the 22. It's a 31-yard punt, no return. Bell's got 4:32 to work with.
I mean, we've seen a lot of Tommy Anderson just chucking the ball around the outside. I'm not expecting that to change much. Maybe with time running down.
They do have Wade Smith going back out there.
Oh, well, yeah, I would expect the Bells to just go back to their double wing, probably stay with their base offense most likely and practice right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key word. Kind of work some things out potentially, kind of treat this as a practice. But they do go 3 wide here. It is going to be a handoff to Henry. Izon bouncing it to the outside and gets spilled. Nice tackle made by Collier after the gain of 4 for Izon Henry.
I continue to be amazed by Ian Collier. People usually say punters and kickers aren't people. This guy has caught a touchdown, has made some great tackles, and punts the ball. What more can you ask? I mean, elite level work.
So is Ian Collier a person in your book?
Oh,
Oshkosh?
definitely. I mean, I like all punters and kickers. They do the gritty work that most people don't like to see, but this has been exceptional work by a truly versatile player.
We'll give Henry 5, 2nd and 5. Play action. This is Tommy Anderson. Anderson is going to be sacked. Wrestled to the turf by Greg Rivera in a big loss on 2nd down.
And with the Bells alternating quarterbacks and throwing multiple people in there, you risk losing the ability to be, unpredictable. Because when you throw Tommy Anderson there, defenses are just going to key in on a pass. When you throw Wade Smith in there, they're going to key in on a run. And for a team that might not have the greatest talent and relies on being unpredictable and playing the fundamentals, this really hurts you there.
That was a loss of 12. It's 3rd and 18, 3rd and 17, excuse me. They need the 32. Smith tucking it and gets maybe 2. Tabin Kura there alongside Moscow. And the Bells will punt with 2:47 to go on the 4th.
Tough showing right now for the Bells on this drive. Not a lot of great stuff. Eyes on Henry with that good run, but then the sack, then basically giving up on 3rd down there. Some people call this garbage time. I wouldn't necessarily deem it that because, like we mentioned, this is really practice time. It's a high snap.
High snap indeed. Schaefer just does get away. And guess who? It's Ian Collier returning punts. He fair catches it inside the 45. So he's punting and punt returning.
I mean, this is high school. You're allowed to carry a lot of people on your roster, but you get to the NFL or something, if a player can do stuff like this, he'll always find a home. Versatility is the name of the game in football now, and we're seeing it even meet the punters and kickers.
Mitty has a really small roster for WCAL standards. They have 35 players on the roster. They've dressed 30 today. So usually you'll see teams in the low 50s numbers-wise in the WCAL. Just 30 suited up for the Monarchs tonight, but it has not mattered. They lead 34-7 with 2:16 to go. 1st and 10 from the BCP 43. It's going to be a handoff to Moscow, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mason Ciari making sure he doesn't get any further with the help from Russell McKeever as we see the 2nd-teamers in.
And, again, the one hallmark for this Bellarmine team, if they have to look at anything that went right in a game where not many things did, has to be against inside runs. They've been great. Yep. I even saw on a few pass plays Bellarmine running some nice stunts using these defensive tackles. And this is going to be an important part of this team. When Bellarmine doesn't really mix it up that much, they run a basic 4-3, 2 cornerbacks, 2 safeties, usually hanging back. Defensive tackles are huge for disrupting plays, and they're doing that here, even though the box score doesn't really show it.
Buck 25, we will get a whistle, and I believe a delay of game. They move the ball back 4 yards instead of 5. The ball's at the 47. Not that it matters in a 27-point game. Clock under a minute. I think they need to snap it one more time. That should be enough. And they will knee on it. And I believe they won't need to snap again. 34-7 is going to be your final score. It is 4th down now.
Just imagine a football world where the victory formation is taken out of the gun.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've seen it in college football.
This is something else. I mean, it's taking the nation by storm. It's leading some great offenses, but
Get under center one time.
I'm speechless.
Well, that will do it. Your final score here on Mitty 34, Bellarmine 7. The Monarchs improved to 3-1 overall and 1-0 in the West Catholic Athletic League. The Bells dropped to 1-3 overall and 0-1 in the WCAL. A couple of quick final stats for you. Mitty quarterback Shamir Bey was fantastic, 13 of 15 for 193 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Their leading receiver, Raymello Murphy, 3 catches for 101 yards, had 1 for 58, another 1 for 38. Ian Collier, 5 catches for 31 and a touchdown. Connor Gamblin, 4 receptions, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Their leading rusher, Tabin Kura, 15 carries, 66 yards, and 2 scores. Karen Dang, 7 carries, 43 yards. Shamir Bey, 9 carries, 30 yards. For the Bellarmine Bells, Wade Smith was 3 for 3 for 24 yards. Tommy Anderson was 4 for 9 for 35 yards. Missed on his last 3 throws. Leading receiver turned out to be one of their quarterbacks, Nick Teresi, 3 catches, 29 yards. Izon Henry, the leading rusher, 11 carries for 63 yards. Joaquin Moreno, 8 carries, 42 yards. Akshaj, what are your key takeaways from this game?
I think when you look from those stats, this game ended up a blowout, but Bellarmine did a lot of little things right. They ran the ball well. It was just, a big play here, a turnover there. The game just got away from them. Small things to build on for the future. For these Bells, they're going to need it. 0-1 in a very tough WCAL.
Well, he's Akshaj Dwibidula. I'm Kevin Dana. We'll say adios here from the San Jose City College press box. Jack Morris, Diego Hara, Akshaj Dwibidula, Samarth Girish, Nick Coker, all on our production staff from the student side. Of course, Akshaj calling the game with me, our faculty representative. As always, Brad Lindemann. I'm Kevin Dana saying so long from San Jose. Final score for the final time, Mitty 34, Bellarmine 7. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good Friday evening. You've been watching Bellarmine Varsity Football on BCP Sports Live.